I'm Stephanie Scott, and today I would like to discuss epistemic injustice in the medical field. So to begin, I just want to discuss that epistemic injustice really does occur in the medical field between the patient and the doctor, whether there's a language barrier, religious beliefs restricting some information flowing from doctor to patient, or if the doctor just feels like they're an expert in the situation and doesn't convey the message as much to the patient because they either there's a miscommunication or they don't think the patient can explain their needs as well as the doctor can. So I really want to give some examples to show this. And according to Harvey and James Kidd in the Epistemic Injustice in Healthcare, a philosophical analysis, they really grasp that doctors will communicate to their patients in higher terminology that the patient does not understand, and that sometimes doctors feel that they just have a higher knowledge than the patient does when it comes to the disability, the condition, whatever that the patient is undergoing. So they just kind of disregard what the patient tells them because they think either the patient is wrong, they don't have the right words to explain it, or if the patient's just saying, hey, my stomach hurts, and be like, okay, well, that can mean a lot of things. So they're just ignoring that it could just be something in the stomach, or okay, it's just a stomach bug. The patient can't really say exactly or pinpoint exactly where in the stomach there might be a problem. So the doctor sometimes ignores some of the more minor things and some of the more major things that a patient does tell them. One example I do want to use is a personal one with one of my friends that happened very recently. Her name is Maddie, and it was during the COVID pandemic that is going on right now. Recently, about a couple weeks ago, she went to the doctor with some breathing issues, and she was having pain with breathing as well. So when she went, she told the doctor, hey, I've had some trouble breathing, getting tired and kind of restless very quickly, and it's been a bit painful to breathe. So of course, if the pandemic is going on, she's going to have a few concerns, thinking, oh my gosh, maybe I have COVID-19. The doctor immediately wrote it off as not being COVID-19 and said, no, it's just ADHD. You are anxious and have this going on, and so you're getting out of breath. So she just sent her home with some Adderall. About a week or so later, my friend was sent to the hospital for just going up the stairs. She could not make it up the stairs because she was so out of breath. Doctor said if you waited even a couple minutes longer, she could have died. She didn't have COVID, but very unfortunately, she had a lot of blood clots throughout her body, including in her leg. That's where they started. And she did mention that pain to the doctor, but the doctor was just like, okay, it's growing pains, completely ignored that, and just kind of focused on the breathing, but still wrote it off as ADHD and nothing more. So she had tons of blood clots going throughout her body, and now half of her lung is dead and may never recover. So I find this as being epistemic injustice on the part of the doctor, just not thinking that the patient can explain the condition as well or pinpoint the issues, and the doctor not thinking that they have the terminology and just not accepting what the patient is telling them when the patient knows, yeah, maybe I do have ADHD, but I can promise you this, it is not causing this issue right now. Another example I want to use is that sometimes there can be some moral beliefs and barriers between doctors, or doctors will forget, excuse me, will forget the livelihoods of the patients, and will kind of ignore the patient's needs, whether it does have to be religious or if it's just their lifestyle. So one example, again, I'm going to use a personal one here, is that there are some people out there who are really into exercise and sports. So one example is with my mother. She went in for a knee surgery. This was about a year or two ago now, and it was going to be a very minor knee surgery. Sorry, a very minor knee surgery. The recovery was only going to last about 2 days, I think it was, before she could just be back up on her feet walking again. Well, the doctor went into the surgery, and my mom woke up after the surgery, not a very, or too long one at least, to my dad telling her, hey, there's a chance you might never be able to run again. And your walking is still going to be very painful for about a year and a half. There's going to be a long recovery. So, of course, she's very shocked. She's like, what? It's only supposed to last just a while. Well, it didn't. The doctor went ahead and decided to do what he wanted instead of waking my mom up, asking her about a new surgery. A surgery she probably would have not gone along with and waited to put it off for quite some time. There's also a lot of just religious barriers. There's different types of surgeries, different methods of medicine that some people will not take into account, whether it's, shots. There's some religions that don't do shots. There's just a lot of different barriers. So I really find epistemic injustice between the patient and the doctor with all these different morals, different backgrounds, and expertise. So thanks for listening.